Okay, Wethersfield police, they've been forging names, switching names. And with overt criminal enterprises, a whole bunch of other nations' police, foreign and domestic military. For example, they have locations in Middletown. Recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the Schedule family, with the National Guard. I never had a conversation with them. They pretended other. Now these are also people with a Phil Cololo. And a guy who says he's FBI up the street from me, and Ian, who's involved also with the Jennifer Kennepicky and her mother, with the John Maiano, involved with prosecutors and judges, and medical families involved with predicate acts on off child campuses, including with the principal child defenders campus, that Wethersfield police and their kids, Wethersfield police chief's daughter, and his extended family members, like a Mazzucato family. I also barely know them. I only know them confessed and recorded, involved with the people, criminally involved, like a John Maiano, who's also involved with sequence shifts with them. I never met him until after his friends, like one who lives next to me, Ray Cololo, graduated high school. He used to hang around with him, though, people in a grade younger. So, this also, the buildings downtown Hartford, on and off Fox Connecticut News, on and off WFSB, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated locations next to them involved with their predicate acts roles. Note they attached me and my family to fake locations, fake ties to other people, fake words. They've been faking, fabricating audio and video privately outside of with locations in collusion with the interbranch has been doing that in case to hide their live progressions. So I'm going to have to call again here. They remember they forge names and switch names, Wethersfield police. Then they say, well, I don't know about that. That's part of their crime methods recorded. So you have to be able to speak about each fact treatment in relation to the lies and the crime methods of each of the branch, distinctly, not distinctly and simultaneously out here where they're not following mandated law. There are crime methods having been used by a breaching method needing to hide that. So that this is where it is, how it is, what good is peace if it's fake? Quality of fact-cheaping nature. Criminal insidious natures, qualities of fact-cheaping nature. Big deal, counters to each other. Fake sides. So, we have, they're not following mandated law too, again, in the news, private tied to the interbranch. And this is with juxtaposed overt criminal enterprises. All these hundreds of nations, A1 through Z, whatever, they're grouped sick together here. So we're going to call 860-721-2900. Now this is the Wethersfield Police Department, one of the numbers. They call from town offices. They have Wethersfield town offices also involved. Wethersfield Pizza also involved with them. Forgot to put the area code. 721. Okay, here we go. To reach the air, because you. Six. Hi, my name is Anthony Wall. You have officers that have been calling my house and switching names and forging names. They did this for years, and now like a week ago, an officer Sullivan called, a male. So when I called back, they said they don't have a male named Sullivan working for you guys. So could you tell me who that was who called from the town offices? There's also an Inspector Mike with the town offices. These are people also involved further with the principal child defenders campus then and now. I caught them with worse than they put him in jail for, with the same kids. Hello? I called back so you guys could find out and send me a letter, because you also have officers that threatened that the Wethersfield police chief directed them to come to my house to switch names, forge names, and make confessions about that as a threat. Like about a week and a half ago. It was from town offices. They've been mixing the town offices involved with this. Well, it was them also, because they've been forging names and switching names since before that. I've been trying to report things since before. They did this to force the principal child defender not told on, and such sustained. They have recorded roles with uses. There's former director of the FBI who was a co-defendant with federal criminals that they have predicate acts with, and against, like, my father was a plaintiff who with a case that was /S that was ongoing at the time of my father's death. They attached me and others on both sides of that case to fake words. In other words, that we already pleaded actually other in cases, but they just put fake recorded audio and video transcripts. They did this with WFSB. They attached me and my family to fake words, for fake locations, fake ties to other people. They won't fix the fake news, and the officers keep forging and switching names with the Wethersfield police. You have one officer who came to my house too and made a confession about the Wethersfield police chief. And they brought up the Cololo name too. The person, so they're trying to start fights with me and my neighbors. Well, how am I going to get countered the names forging and switching and my needs to have all the fake conversations with me corrected? There's also a Dr. Brendan Leahy and his son, Doctor, I believe he's a doctor too. And they have women in their family that work with a Harvard Hospital. There's also Wethersfield police recorded confessed. I never had a conversation with my life. They fabricated whole conversations with me. Now these are also people with dozens of people on New Britain Superior Court, Hartford Court. Yes. No, I need to speak. I need to have you guys. You guys have things wrong in your databases, criminally wrong. When everyone needs that cleaned up, and we need. And then the news won't. The news is being directed to keep pretending things are separate. That's inseparate. That's inseparable from the officers coming to my house and threatening, making confessions to me and others, threatening and taking apart in abuses of little kids on and off campuses. You see what I'm saying? You guys weren't following the law, and you guys can't follow the law now. So I need someone to respond for this Officer Sullivan, because in the capacity of them having to respond, for the other guys, officers doing that too. I have it online. I have the number recorded. It was a town office's number. They have the town offices involved with this. Also, Wethersfield Pizza is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the wire crime methods. See, they have wire crime methods, then they have people having to pretend other. They're defending your identities, like defending identities of the police that they can't be defended and be honest. So that's how they kept them criminally foreign influenced. They're also pretending I make allegations by making, and with physical delusions, and with these wire crimes and mail crimes and rules crimes, they're preventing, since I was a kid, I've been asking for something to respond to on paper for this. These are also people on all sides of the Wethersfield High School that are involved with the people on off the child campuses further criminally, with the principal child defenders campus then and now. That was for sustained, and there's still more involved with like a two Mendez police. I also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts, attaching me to fake communications with a Wethersfield police officer on the Wethersfield Police Department. So that's like them they're recorded, confessed, demonstrated, involved attaching uses of interbranch locations to fabricate audio and video, and for identity thefts and frauds and worse. And that's what American history is about. Countering. Well, this is all you need to know is, in other words, you have officers that are playing wire games. They're calling my house, harassing me. They make confessions to me. No, listen, you called here. I am calling you. So are there issues? You guys brought up all these issues. You guys bring up all these issues, then you pretend you have no time to deal with them. You brought them up. Then you guys are sequence shifting. Now these are also further sequence shifts in the British Superior Court, other courts, tied to proven post-dated documents in the Ninth Circuit, right next to the World Trade Center. Right. Okay, let me just say one more thing. So I need someone to respond in writing. I need someone to say sorry for them, or to take a position on paper and pick one name in sequence and one spelling of it. Because I need to know they brought up Ray Colello. They're involved with their confessions over the phone too. With the Wethersfield police, I called back and they made the confessions about this regarding Ray Colello. Or I don't know if they used the name Ray Colello. There's a Phil Colello also involved further with the Mendez police, with the school resource officers and the doctors involved with the sexual and medical abuses of the kids. They also prevented me from calling the school to tell on this, using crime methods of attaching me and my family members to fake communications with each other about things, fabricating audio and video. Same people doing it multi-front with the news. So I need someone to respond to. I've been asking for a response since before the World Trade Center attack. With these same courts and police forms, intercities involved with confessions from strangers in a straight line. You guys just keep telling me to ignore things. You don't have time. Then why did you come here? And please stop coming here, because you guys are forging. I'm not going to talk to you verbally when you're forging names, switching names, and fabric. Listen, now you're constricting what I'm saying. I'm not. This is worse than harassment. This is extortion. I'm calling you right now about that. You guys are doing that right now. I'm trying to do my business and make a life. You guys are extorting me, attaching me to stealing my identity, attaching me to fake locations, fake ties to other people, fake ties to yourselves, fake natures of ties to yourselves. So there's a problem that we have to have. You have to have one man be capable of speaking for you guys honestly and legitimately. So I need to know that person's name, and they have to pick one name in sequence. So they just keep passing people off on the phone because they want to keep using interbranch locations. What we're actually recorded doing is fabricating audio and video. So there was a Colello family that Wethersfield police recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them with wire crimes with the Wethersfield Police Department, with the Wethersfield town offices. There's also an Inspector Mike. I don't know who that is. There's also a Jerry Kerr that is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated by an officer, Jerry Miller, further involved this semester, and then passed with the people on the child sex offender registry, criminally, with other natures of organized crime and more child abuses. So we need to know who these officers are. We have to counter their uses of these wire crime methods where they have the police dispatchers involved with this. Because these are also wire crime methods. Then they send people to people's houses. They have people calling in fake complaints because they're kept needing to hide lie progressions with the databases each year, more and more and more. So get me a response from Wethersfield Pizza. Wethersfield Pizza is also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with organized crime, with the corner where they shot a kid, real or made up, and they show video of it. Vega, I forgot his name, but there were also Sammy Vega and other people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated with the Wethersfield Pizza, Steven Stocco and Maria Fazzino from Wethersfield Pizza recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed that location is involved with sequence shifts and with federal crimes with the judges and police forms and prosecutors and their family members in drug cliques and sexual circles on and off Central Connecticut State University in New Britain, all the way from there to their location on the South Stein Highway, right next to that shooting note, right around the corner from the state judicial branch offices. There's also an Enzo Fienza who made a whole bunch of confessions to me at once as a stranger, which is in relationship to their crime methods, their wire crime methods recorded, as you just heard. Partly you can't record the police, so I record you myself calling them. So they could, everyone plays stupid, and they're all indifferent to just stacking fabricated audio and video. That's how they were raised. That's how the branches of government individually grouped together. That's how everyone in collusion with them. Private, hundreds of nations sick together at once. They were recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts on and off campuses of each age and nature leading up to the World Trade Center, relevant in the context tied to their roles with proven post-dated documents from inside the Ninth Circuit Court next to the World Trade Center had been shown, post-dated from in the court to appear as if they had been handed in late. It was later proven they were handed in on time-stamped timely in the Ninth Circuit, but someone had post-dated them to appear late to the panel of judges right before the World Trade Center towers were attacked. That proven led to a 2006 district court case with defendant, former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and he had a John LeConte, has a Thaddeus Grabowski, and some other federal criminals, and his lawyer, the FBI former FBI director's lawyer, Robert Cheverie, is also further involved with predicate acts, like on and off Fox Connecticut News with two Mendez police that are also involved with on and off Wethersfield Police Department, on and off New Britain Superior Court, predicate acts, illusions, identity theft, frauds, falsified police reports, roles, child abuses with principal sex offenders campus, and people associated with that. Now these are also medical families. There's a Leahy family involved with this. So we have to have a response because they stack. That's why they make confessions about all these things up front with complete strangers. In other words, they have investigations, investigators, and vetting identities, criminally foreign influenced, and delusions wrought. And this has affected us since founding of modern nations, not just America. Since before America was founded, this was already entrenched, a breaching method that prevented our founding parents from having free speech. That's why they had to begin the fight for it. Now, so we have to get to the point where we can use peace and calm speech. They're preventing this. So we have to have a response for them for refusing to identify themselves, forging and switching names. Even a female officer named Sullivan, they have a male officer named Sullivan involved with that. Now they have a Sullivan also involved with people from New York City various ways. And now on a Park Street, there's a Sullivan's on a Park Street recorded, confessed, and demonstrated they switched names with a Maggie tied to a Daryl Sullivan, and she's involved with identity theft, frauds, worse than that, with people training the interbranch too on and off Central Connecticut State University, with people involved with prison leaderships, with DCF leaderships, like all those kind of programs and stuff tied to on and off Central other colleges and university, leading up to the World Trade Center and since involved with those locations and people as the ones further through that involved with the principal child offenders campus. This is in Wethersfield. Now there are other campuses in Wethersfield with the people further involved with this. Houses on all sides of the high school. Houses and businesses on all sides of the South Stein Middle School. Recorded, confessed, demonstrated further and criminally foreign influence. You have to follow mandated law for them. They play stupid. You have to respond for them with these wire crimes and with the houses on my street. You see, they're trying to start fights between people. They have my new and past neighbors recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed. A Dillon family is involved with them, with forcing them to roles with child offenders Now, there are other natures of organized crime associated with it. So we're going to have a response for them. The Wethersfield Police, with the houses on my street, recorded, confessed, demonstrated involved with all this, and with his Dillon family. There's an officer, Jerry Miller, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the Dillon people associated with the Dillon family, like a Kerr family in the past, a DeMorrow family. The Morrow family, Kerr family, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated abuses of and organized crime uses of a Hanson family, a Heather Hanson, her brothers, her father and mother, and other houses, and their house on Church Street in Old Wethersfield, all along that location. Now, there's a house on the corner of Church Street and Main Street that has that is associated with I don't know if it's the same Dr. Gilmore. There's a Dr. Gilmore I never saw the face of, never had communications with, who pretended other, or had other pretended for him and her. There's a Christina Sioka. They're also involved with preventing, since before the World Trade Center attack, people from reporting things where Hartford courts and the Britain Superior Court were involved with locations crimes. And with and that was tied to their uses. I didn't know it at the time, but they were involved with the depositions of defendant, former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and with his co-defendants. And their family members recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with federal crimes with the campuses I went to, and on and off them connected. So, we have the top FBI people and CIA people, other agencies. We have CIA family members. I believe it's pronounced Kazmarek. There's a Kelly Kazmarek. I never hung around with her, never anything to do with her. She was one of the people who was confessed and recorded by people tied to her, and she confirmed online roles with like a Leahy family, also. I mean, like a Yagman family next to the high school that is also involved with the Leahy family and with these Mendez police through time, with identity thefts, frauds, fake conversations to me, fake ties to me, on and off interbranch locations. Now, these are the people, the Mendez police, on and off the Wethersfield Police Department, putting me in fake quotes, fake conversations with one of the Mendez people I never had a word of conversation with. They're also a family on and off Fox Connecticut News, and on and off WFSB, involved with these wire crime methods, identity thefts, frauds, falsified police reports, roles with crimes and cases, with the lies that the news has been making up, attaching people to fake audio and video privately, while the interbranch have been doing that. There are overt criminal enterprises involved with them. And the Witness Protection Program also has ties to my street, and the stewards of that, and the body dumping spots associated with that are with this Fianza family. Enzo Fianza, I forgot his cousin's name. And men and women associated with that family and their neighbors, on and off Two Rod Highway, on and off the houses next to the state judicial branch offices, then on and off clubs and buildings next to the Fox Connecticut News. That is recorded and involved with these two Mendez police, this Mendez police family, and with a Domain family, and others like a John Maiano involved with them with predicate acts, with houses on my street, and with the child defender campuses. Further than and now with the principal child defenders campus. See, we have prosecutors and their kids criminally involved. Also with this Leahy family that pretended they had conversations with me through time, since I was a kid. These are some bad people with the doctors of psychology, foreign and domestic, and nursing and cliques tied to them with this. Now there were also how they have fire departments involved with this. And they pretend people make allegations criminally while they have been attaching us to fake words and conversations so they could get away with that. So Wethersfield Pizza is also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with these wire crimes where they stacking names of people in sequence shift roles and federal crimes. So respond for Wethersfield Police and New Britain Superior Court and Hartford courts leading up to the World Trade Center. I caught them with locations crimes and with campuses crimes. Not just using the word crime, you're going to see how they're actually recorded. They've been using criminal uses of all words / values. For example, like crimes. Now, we have criminal readings of statutes recorded, obviously.